When I think about the parable of the talents, I think about how many times the Lord, being the master of the household, in my household, that is, how many things that I have done using crafting as an example, how I've created things that I didn't have money to buy. I couldn't go on Amazon and buy some of the things I have here. I had to make it, I had to make it with dollars and pennies to my name. But one of the things that happened to me in 2011 before I had surgery is I had a dream about New Jerusalem. And I may have told this before, but I'm going to tell it again. I went to bed asking the Lord to give me a rapture dream. And in that dream, what happened was the Lord showed me in this dream. I was forced out of my bed in the dream into like almost like an elevator or bullet train into the clouds. And then I arrived on a highway where I saw a bright city, which I assumed that was New Jerusalem. And I saw on the side, on my left side, that is, apartment buildings, houses, all inhabited, I'm sorry, all inhabited by construction cones and etc. No people lived there. And I noticed that it was under construction for the obvious reasons because there was nobody inhabiting it. And I was thinking, this is what is going to happen. We are going to inhabit our own homes. And in that dream, I was just struck by that experience. And then I saw these billboards leaving Earth. I was so happy. Um, and billboards for heaven. Now, it's a dream and it's a vision of what's to come. And what I mean by that is, I believe, from what I interpret that, is that we are going to look at these earthly possessions as just a typography of what we will be building and creating. As a creator, I believe this because I believe, just like the parable of the talents, we're going to be building things just like Jesus being the carpenter, just one of many things that Jesus did. We're going to be building things to create our home in New Jerusalem. Like, we'll go into our mansions and there'll probably be furniture, there'll probably be things like a bed. I'm pretty sure that's the setup, I'm sure that's not out of the question. But I don't know the size of the room. I don't know the size of what it'll look like, but in any home, everybody has something that's personal to them. The reason a lot of people don't get come to salvation is because they can't give up their earthly possessions or their earthly beliefs. They don't want to give up certain things. But I'm here to tell you, for salvation, for the purpose of salvation, that you will give up a lot of things in the beast system. You're going to give up your freedoms, you're going to give up everything, and you're not going to have the heavenly blessing that is coming. When we say rapture watch, we're not just saying this is just some, random moment. We're talking like we are very, very close to the return of the Lord. And we could be raptured today. That's how close we are. Uh, everybody that watches programs and videos like this know that we are closer and closer than we've ever been before. This is the highest rapture watch I've ever been on myself, too. And I've watched a lot of videos that are saying the same thing. But what I wanted to get back to is that I want you to know that what our earthly dwelling place is like here is going to be nothing compared to what we have coming for us when we go to New Jerusalem, our home from this place. When we go to be raptured, when we're transformed into our eternal bodies, or in other words, transformed from corruptible to incorruptible, we will be transformed in a way that we might not need certain things to basically live the certain way we used to live. I mean, we will live our lives, but we will live maybe differently. We may eat differently. Everything could be different. So we don't know how this is all going to play out. All we know is we're going to be transformed. But Jesus he goes back to what Jesus did here on earth. He was a carpenter, and it's not going to be surprising that we could be building things. We could be building homes. We could be building apartments. We could be building shelves. We could be building things with our hands, crafting. Anybody that's a crafter, you're going to love that. So this is kind of a good side of the story about the return of the Lord and what happens when we do go to be with the Lord and inhabit New Jerusalem. So thank you for listening, and God bless you, and good night.